This is the cloud. It is a game changer. A new revolutionary idea of how we as a society access, store, edit data. No longer do we need any hardware, such as a hard drive itself. All you do is link to the cloud and you can access photos, file shares, your newest devices, such as laptops or very phone right here. What you can really do, since my phone is connected to his MacBook, get whatever he needs. I can receive whatever he needs. So he's got a Windows PC. I don't know about my phone itself. Microsoft. But the big theory about cloud computing is accessibility. From here, about anywhere in the campus. Let's take a little walk, shall we? As long as you're connected to the cloud, you can have browsing files from any location itself, such as my album art history on my phone itself. As I'm a big fan of metal music and basically hard rock itself, I don't have all my bands. As you can see on the icon on the album itself, it's in the cloud. It's not on my cloud computing, or aka the cloud. Well, you know her name, but I know what you guys are asking. What exactly is she? Well, the definition of cloud computing is a network of servers hosted on the internet to store, manage, and process data, instead of going with a local server or a personal computer. The history of cloud computing is very fascinating, but here's a little summary of it. It was an idea started in the 1950s. Back then, a mainframe had to be connected to one user. Since the number of users were growing, so did the need for mainframes. But since mainframes were very expensive and quite frankly really big, there was a need for multiple users per mainframe. And that's kind of how cloud computing started. In terms of applications, there is a lot, but I'm going to cover two. And these two are being pioneered by Microsoft and Apple. And these two are storage and processing power. The first one we're going to tackle is storage, and this is the most popular application. I consider myself an amateur photographer, an amateur photoshopper, and a gamer. Let's say I've got a lot of files of photos of me, of my work, and my games, but I kind of have a limit, and that's 500 gigabytes. But I don't want to delete anything, but what can I do? Well, this is where Apple steps in. Apple is using the cloud as storage for those that have way too much music on their phone but don't want to get rid of anything. So Apple basically says, hey, store on the cloud and you can access it anywhere. But how does that work exactly? Well, in layman's terms, all you need are two things: a server connected to the internet and a client. Let's say the client wants to save a Word document. Well, how does that work exactly? Well, when you save a Word document to the cloud, it's not the original that's going to the server, it's a copy of the original, where it's then sent to the server for storage. And if the client wants to access it anywhere, as long as there's connection, he can, and through any device that the client owns. Such as he wants to listen to more music, well, he's got music on his PC, but he wants it on his phone, well, he can. All you do is upload the music to the cloud, and you can access it through there as well. But this is also very helpful in terms of backup as well, because quite frankly, there's a lot of things that could go wrong with a hard drive. There could be hard drive failure, or there could be malware that corrupts the data files itself. And rest assured, when you back up your data through cloud, yeah, it's pretty much going to be there, even through all of the junk that happens. And the other one we're going to discuss is processing power. And this one's being pioneered by Microsoft, and particularly with the Xbox One. Well, how does that work exactly? Well, it's really more of an idea right now. Microsoft hasn't made a very strong case for this particular way of cloud computing. They've been saying it over and over the years itself, but the only two instances where it's actually proven to be very useful is in two video games, and those particular video games are Titanfall and Forza 5 Horizon, if I remember the title correctly. Is that they've used this idea that Microsoft is championing to a certain degree itself, but really how does that work? It's more of a theoretical right now, but the idea is this. Since console gamers are limited by hardware, you can't upgrade them, and that's a very shame because I would really love to upgrade this Xbox One. So that's a big problem, because gaming is getting bigger and bigger, and files are getting more beautiful, and environment and rendering, and yeah, you kind of get the idea itself. But what this is supposed to be doing is this. Game developers, when they make environments, they can upload it to the cloud. Since the Xbox One is connected to the cloud, it's kind of like streaming, where the Xbox One takes the files and it takes it in and it basically streams it. The result is less burden on the CPU. So in return, games can be much, much bigger. But what this really does in the long run, is that console gamers don't have to be burdened by hardware, and they can be playing games at this fantastic frame rate. Resolution is so much brighter. There could be more AI on the screen itself, and that's really where this kicks in. Like all technology, cloud computing has both its strength and its weakness. On the strength side, storage can be unlimited. It is easy to access across multiple devices, and for businesses and companies, it is very cheap in terms of cost. You pay for software, not the hardware. And when files are saved, they are not simply stored on one server. Instead, they are spread across through the whole network. And what this does is that ensures the client that their data is truly never lost. And on the flip side, its weaknesses are very, very important to address. The first one is you always have to be connected to the internet. And this is very important for today, since we view the internet as a utility, not a luxury. And another big issue is power outages and server crashes. Essentially, the servers have to always be online. And if they ever lose power or they crash itself, the whole network could be in jeopardy. And the final big issue is security. Given the recent news about cloud computing, especially with the celebrity scandal, where celebrities had photos of themselves taken from their iCloud and shared on Reddit, 4chan, you name it itself, without their written permission, and boy were they upset. And that is a big issue that also needs to be addressed as well. But despite this, the future is very bright for cloud computing. It is a reliable technology, and it's empowering businesses today with new ideas, and basically a whole nother tech revolution is coming ahead. And with this, cloud computing is going to be pretty much probably till the end of time itself, well beyond the 21st, 22nd, and probably the 27th century, if we live that long. Is the cloud. It was a revolutionary new idea of linking computers, phones, tablets, and other sorts of hardware across the tech world itself. It's basically edit all your data. I just said that again. Okay.